That's right, the man himself, Nicolas Cage. Thanks for clicking on the video. I want to welcome you guys to a familiar segment, the best, worst, and most underrated of actor, director, or composer, whatever it may be. Basically, I will state what, in my opinion, I think is the individual's best performance or best movie, their worst, and their most underrated. Something I've done before with PT86, and I've also done it with Hybrid. And it's something that I really enjoyed doing, and I'd like to keep doing it. If people are receptive to it, then it's great. If you guys like it, go ahead and leave a like. And if you don't, comment, bash me, do what you got to do. But without further ado, let's jump into it and discuss Mr. Nicolas Cage. So, I was a bit surprised when I was looking up Nicolas Cage to learn that his real name is Nicholas Kim Coppola. For anybody who's a bit of a movie buff, the first thing that popped into my mind was the Coppola. And surely enough, he is the Francis Ford Coppola. For those who don't know, is the director of the Godfather series. It's his uncle. I had no idea that he was linked to that family. You know, as that is so impressive, and which is why he's probably so eccentric in his acting. And because if you come from a background of actors or people that are in the acting industry, then I'm guessing it's only natural that you'd want to break out and do things your own way and do your own thing. And it's funny because I somewhere along the lines in this Wikipedia page here, I read somewhere that his acting style, he said that he calls it something that he created on his own. Nicolas Cage, something called nouveau shamanic. Not sure what that means. In other interviews, Cage defined his acting style using terms such as German expressionism. Just to give you an idea, yeah. So, which it seems appropriate, and obviously, to highlight things in his page when it says things like he donated to charities, and it talks about his political beliefs and his personal life, which doesn't matter. Of course, tax issues. Yeah, tax issues. Him, Wesley Snipes, legends, taking down my taxes, and yeah. So to kick things off, I just want to mention that for Nicolas Cage, I grew up in the '90s, so for me, watching Nicolas Cage movies meant watching an action movie. The guy was in Face Off. He was in Con Air. He was in The Rock, Snake Eyes. He was in all the action movies, good action movies. Honestly, he played a good action star. That's my baseline for Nicolas Cage. It was only later on that I started diving into his more obscure and bizarre movies and that kind of stuff. And I have to say that I by no means have seen every single Nicolas Cage movie and memorized all of them. And this is not at all a end all be all list. Like this is what's good and this is what's bad. No, this is just my opinion. And if anyone has different opinions, or if anybody thinks that I might have missed something, like, oh, you thought that was bad, maybe you didn't see this angle, go ahead and mention it in the comments. So to start things off, I'm going to say my most disliked movie that I've seen from Nicolas Cage would be a movie called Drive Angry. Dear Lord, good God, this movie's okay. Amber Heard already minus 10 points. That's how it starts. Okay. But the movie itself is just so bad. It's I hate to describe it like this, but it's like you're watching it and you feel like it's a trash movie. It's just not good. The actors aren't there. You just feel like they showed up on set and just started reading their lines and they weren't acting. The story makes borderline zero sense. And also the CGI is absolutely terrible. It looks horrible. And I remember this was marketed as like one of those 3D movies, like Dread 3D, or back when in the early Michael Bay Transformers movies, the 3D was the big thing, the big fad. And I guess they tried to jump on the train with this. But it was horrible, failed miserably. Director is Patrick Lussier. No idea who that is. Don't know if he did anything else, and quite frankly, don't care to look up anything else that he's done. William Fichtner's in this movie, funny enough, and I have to say that his character in this movie, the accountant, he was the only good thing. He was hilarious, and he did, and he was actually there to deliver his lines. He was there to act. He really adopted his character, this nonchalant, I don't know, maniac, so to call him. But Nicolas Cage, he's trying to play this rough and gruff character, and he's just there, just reading his lines. It was bizarre. It's a very bizarre movie to watch, one you could definitely skip, and you're not going to be missing anything. And next up, what I want to talk about is what, in my opinion, I think is his best movie. Now, I know I said that I was a big action star fan, and I don't want to be cliched. I don't want to jump on those movies that I named earlier. So, for me, and this is honestly true, I truly believe that his best movie is a Christmas movie called The Family Man. I thought this movie was absolutely beautiful. I think it was a perfect choice for him to play this role. To go from this like rich, self-centered, egotistical, always want to work type of guy. Really likes his penthouse Manhattan, his penthouse in Manhattan, all that stuff, and he basically has it all ripped away from him due to a Christmas miracle. He wakes up one morning and he has a family. He has a wife. He has two kids. They live in a regular home in the suburbs. He drives a minivan. He's a tire salesman, and he's trying to come to terms with all these things. He's trying to understand what happened to my life, and number one, and do I want this life, or do I want to go back to my bachelor life and close $1 million deals? It was a really interesting movie because he went from the macho jerk to a family man, a man who cared about taking care of his family and the people around him. And you get to see the entire journey of that. You get to see him go from happy to upset to obsessively happy, and will do anything to hold on to that. So it's just an amazing movie, a good Christmas movie too. To me, his best performance that I've ever seen. And next up would be his most underrated, in my opinion. And now, to me, it's a movie called "It Could Happen to You," and I thought this movie was more popular. However, everyone that I speak to, and I mention it, they either A, haven't seen it, or B, don't remember this, or didn't know it existed. So that's why I threw it in the underrated category, because anyone I spoke to just didn't resonate, or sorry, didn't know about it. So again, a really amazing performance on his behalf. He plays a normal, everyday guy. He's a New York City cop. He can't pay for his tip one day when he goes into a restaurant. He can pay for his meal, but he can't tip the waitress, and he feels guilty about it. So he's just an honest Joe, right, in the movie. And the gimmick of the movie is he bets her that if the lottery ticket that he has in his hand wins, he promises to split half the winnings with her as her tip. And it happened. And from there, the movie just goes on. It explores how he goes through life, because he does have I believe she's his wife, and this waitress is not related. He doesn't know her at all. It's just a random stranger that he met in a diner. So you see all the trials and tribulations that he has to go through. Obviously, his wife is not happy that he's giving away half his earnings to some random woman. But anyways, really good movie, a lot of heart in it, and to me, really underrated, and a movie that people don't think about when they think about Nicolas Cage. I think these are all mainstream movies. Like, they're not like his other crazier roles, like Pig, or I'm pretty sure a lot of people expected The Wicker Man to be on here. Not the bees. Oh no, not the bees! Not the bees! But no, not doing that. But that is my very short and unprofessional experience and non-observant eye of what I think. So that's it for me. That's all I got. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you have comments, if you want to let me know what your favorites were, or what you disliked about his career, or if you hate the guy, if you love the guy, just go ahead and leave it in the comments. It would be much appreciated. And I'll catch you guys next time.